peace. Shanti, Tet, all that loveliness. We're here.
We're here. In the glass house.
Yeah. In the glass house. So let me let y'all see it real quick. Just pan around. Yeah, what we got down there is, let me see, can I show you beds? Yeah, some beds with salads in it, you know. Probably just 2-week-old sprouts, stuff like that. And to that side, you see the outside. So yeah. But this is not about what we have going on in here.
Although it is a little bit.
But it's about what being here does for us. You know. So if you have no idea what we're talking about, we're in the allotment. We're in the allotment. In UK, we're in London. So an allotment is a just designated land used for growing food, growing plants, growing flowers, whatever the case it is. So it's different in comparison to those people that just have that space in their backyard, you know, and they're growing their food, they have their own garden. You know, this is a plot of land that each plot is divided into smaller plots for individual growers to grow food for their families. And you pay a small rent, like how much is the rent?
It's like just under £50 for the year.
For the year.
So
you know, so wow, it's like it's nothing, really nothing.
No, it's nothing.
You know what I mean? We're definitely speaking to those that grow their own food, those that are interested in growing their own food, and I think when we just talk about like growing food, you just think about like, okay, yeah, grow my own food. Like, what's the big deal in that? Like, I already go get my food from whatever store that you get your food at, right? Why would I need to spend extra time in actually growing?
Well,
this is where we come in.
Exactly.
So this is going to be all about that, you know. So why spend extra time growing when you could just go pick it up? Let's just touch on one point at a time.
Yeah, why? Well, it's actually the whole process of it that makes sense to me. It's the whole process of growing. So I'm interested in that, and I'm interested in the relationship that is created between the place of growth, the seedlings themselves.
All right. I think Emily's moving a little faster than I intended to. Why? We're still at why. Why grow? One thing. Why? Not what you're interested in, but why grow your own food?
Because it's better. It's nicer.
Why? No, okay, if it's better, why is it better?
It is better because it tastes better. It is better because you can actually know what you're growing. You know where it has grown. You know what has been added in it or not. You're there through the whole process, and you know. So it's empowering, I think.
Why else is it better?
Why else?
Yeah, we're just touching on why else is it. You said it's better, so we just keep going into why is it better.
For me, it's the relationship of it. It's the whole relationship of growing. It's the process of it all, plus the result at the end of it.
So it's better because of the relationship?
Yeah, for me, yeah.
So you feel a certain way not having a relationship with the broccoli that you eat in the store. While you're eating that food, you don't feel that good because you and that broccoli haven't developed a relationship.
It's not that, but I feel particularly good when I eat the food that I've grown. I feel like I have a particular connection with it. I don't know, there's something just like more special on my plate. Like the whole I'm about to eat this is just grander. It feels maybe I'm lacking words to explain, but yeah, it matters like that for me.
We're energy. We're energetic beings, whether you know it or not. And it's the care, that whole act of nurturing, nurturing nature, nurturing your nature. You know, you're literally like raising what is going to give you energy, give you additional, add to your life force. So, what else do you think is happening when you're having to look after this? Of course you're going to grow with more. You're putting more of that love energy, that care, that nurturing into it all together. So, to me, you just raise the whole nutrient content into the food. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't even, I don't always need to be talking about nutrients as far as like, oh, you're getting the chlorophyll, you're getting these vitamins, you're getting these minerals. You know what I mean? It's also same way I'm nurturing this plant that is going to give me sustenance. The whole act of nurturing it and caring for it is allowing me to honor nature, and then see that same nature that is outside of me is the same nature that is within me. We are one. So I'm looking after this in order for it to look after me. you know so it gives me a sense of responsibility for my own health, what I mean, instead of just leaving that up to anyone else. And for me, growing growing is a lot. Like, you really appreciate something more when you see it growing. Do you know what I mean? When you actually have to invest your time, your energy in it, you know, and I'll let you
Yeah,
launch your
yeah,
mind.
no, for real. There is something, there's like, I'm in awe all the time looking at the seedlings getting bigger. I'm in awe when I'm able to pick something that I'm just about to eat. It's like there's this element of it's right there and it's still connected to the ground. And when I pick it, it's at the most alive state that it's going to be. It's the closest to being like fully alive that it can be. So all the nutrients that are in there are optimal at that point, and there's just something really exciting about like all of that. And I guess like growing, it's for those who are not interested, it's like, yeah, it's just a plant that grows, but that whole process is awesome, because when you think about like how tiny a seed is when it starts and it's planted in the ground, and that within a few weeks it just develops into these beautiful plants, and that keep grow, it's just such a beautiful process to look at. It's like almost like watching the first steps of a baby, or it's almost on that level, it's
It's,
actually on that level.
it's looking after,
It's like,
it's care, it's nurturing. Yeah,
and
these are
it's
these are our children. You know what I mean?
yeah.
As well. So
Got green children.
yeah, done with them.
But yeah, there's a sense of well-being as well, and serenity just being here. um, the allotment is not just for growing. Of course growing is important, but just being here in that nature.
Being here, just being here.
Yeah.
Like, I guess we struggle in this world even just being. Just being, right? It's funny. We struggle just being, but we're called human beings. Hate this language. But just being here. So, you know, just thinking of that, the allotment, and in order to get here, to be right here. As well, it's not like it's just in back of your home. You know, it's a garden attached to your home. Like, it requires, you know, that extra effort.
Coming here.
Coming here. You have to come here. You know, so you have to be already disciplined within your mind. Do you know what I mean? To be like, okay, like, I see the value in this, and so yes, I'm going to take the additional time out of my day to come over here and invest my energy here. But when you start investing your energy here, you start to see how the small investment, you know, magnifies your overall well-being.
Yeah.
You know, being right here. Like, let's be real, we all need more moments in nature. We all need more moments to disconnect, however it is that you choose to. Some people like yoga, some people like meditation, some people don't like none of that, you know what I mean? But, you know, being in nature, however you decide to, this could be a way for you to connect in nature. So you're out here and you're immersed in the soundtrack of life. You know, I only just listen to nature. Yeah, I play music when I'm out here. Yeah, I mix it all up, but I'm still immersed into nature, all around me. I get to see the cycles of life. I get to see how the animals and plants, do you know what I mean, interact with one another. You know, how when the seasons are changing and the day is changing, it's about to rain or different things, you know, how the animals react, you know, and just like watching, like for instance, watching the squirrels just maneuver around when they think that it's just them, you know what I mean, and just, it's so fascinating.
Yeah, it is.
Like, this is it. Like, this is stuff that you can't learn in books. Seeing the birds, how the different birds interact, seeing how the animals, the squirrels and the birds and the foxes, do you know what I mean, all work together, and you know what I mean, it's wild. You know,
It's like it's their kingdom, and we're in it too.
these are the natural laws. What we see here going on, these are the natural laws. These are the laws. Like, the other laws that's in the society, I don't fucking understand. Do you know what I mean? That's a whole other thing that's like just stressful. But it's like, here, you see the natural laws. You see how the sun moves across the sky. You see how the moon comes up. You see how when we're getting closer to the winter solstice, you know, how we're getting these darker days and different. You see all of these things just being out here in your environment. Because let's be real, like, we all live in an environment, but you know what I mean, we don't know or understand our environment, because our environment is really just, you know, just crowded with buildings, you know what I mean, vehicles, automobiles, other structures, and so you're not looking at your natural environment. Do you know what I mean? So you're very disconnected. You're just going from one building in a box to another building in a box to another transportation in a box to this, and you know what I mean, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. That's it. It's like being out here, you know, time slows down.
It really does.
All together, like.
Yeah. Even just entering the allotment, just going through the gate, just that alone, just you step inside it, there's already a sense of peace and serenity, and like disconnection from all the like hustle and bustle and craziness of the city. And that's really nice, because it's not we're not far from a busy place, but just being here it quietens all down.
Let me give you all a feel of what we talk about. Come on.
You might hear the birds actually.
So yeah, we are in London, UK. It's about what, 8 o'clock, 8:30 a.m.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna walk, just gonna catch a vibe. You know, so I'm gonna say, yeah, you know, being out here, it allows a real disconnect. Can you hold this? Or maybe flip it to easier. Yeah, being out here allows a real disconnect. You know, for me as well, hey, look at these birds getting trapped in here. We see you. You see them? See these birds getting trapped? Come on. Take your time, take your time. There you go. You see, just observing things like that, you know. Well, I was saying that it allows a disconnect.
And it's funny, it allows a disconnect, but actually this is where I feel the most connected.
A disconnect from the society living, do you know what I mean? And I require this disconnect because I get I'm tired of society, but I also I get fed up with dealing with people and maintaining these supposed social interactions and standards, you know what I mean? And yeah, after interacting with people, I just require long periods of time without interactions with people. Do you know what I mean? Unless we're talking about people that I actually love, you know, which are very few relationships. But yeah, give thanks to Emily. Emily is one of those. You know. So yeah, being out here, it really it's almost like a vacation. Not even almost. It is a vacation. You know how people in this life we live, you know, they work their asses off to get a week or 2 week vacation a year. You know, that vacation that normally involves traveling to some other country, spending a whole bunch of money and living a life that you really can't afford, and then you come back and now you've amounted a whole bunch of additional expensive expenses and bills that you got to pay for. So now you got to work even harder, you know, but you just came back from taking a vacation to relieve the stress that you accumulate in your work life. But now you have to work more to pay off the vacation. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, and you probably hear me talking about it and you're like, oh, well, I never thought about it that way. Like, that's what really you do on vacation. You take vacation to get away from the fucking crazy life that you live, the crazy life of responsibilities and pressures, and you go off into your dream place, you know. But this is a daily vacation, you know. I had to think about a way, you know, in different things that I do, not just the allotment, but to create that space of enjoyment, of peace with my life on a daily, you know, because we're so we're so committed, you know, in spending our energy in other people's companies, you know, on a day to day, that we don't even think about our own well-being and what is that doing for ourselves. Just yesterday, we saw something that Cat Williams was saying, and it was like, you know, the great lie that they told to you, saying that there's 24 hours in a day. You know what I mean? There's not 24 hours in a day. And what day is there 24 hours? You know, he said there's 12 hours, 12 hours in a day. You know what I mean? 12 hours at night. But now think of it. When you think about it as being 24 hours in a day, you'd be like, oh yeah, there's 24 hours in a day. So you have no problem giving 8 hours, 10 hours of your day towards work. You know what I mean? But when you actually think about it, it's like, wait, hold up. But if I'm thinking like in a day, I only have 12 hours in a day. And if I work for someone else for 8 hours and I'm on commute to where I have to get to for another 3 hours, do you know what I mean? Then what time does that leave me in my day? Like, wow. So is it so hard to believe that we have all these broken people? We have all these broken people around. You know, of course. People seeking alternative ways, people trying to get out, people going to fucking Amazon and throwing up and going through deep psychedelic experiences to it's like, wow, the extremes that we got to go through, you know what I mean? Just to cope
with the life you live.
with this life that we live. The life that we really don't want to live, but the life that we're forced to live if we want to be in society, right? You know. So this is a daily peaceful, pleasant interruption into the constructs.
We were talking about like coping. I feel like here is a great coping place, coping with London place. I don't really know how I would feel, even just like talking about mental health and keeping up with the like rhythm, if I didn't have here. Here is really like a piece of heaven, and it's really, really magical. And you lot must have noticed that actually there's hardly anyone here. I haven't seen any other human on the plot this morning. And that's probably because it's November and it's a bit cold, and people tend to just not attend their plots around December. But we've already established that being here is the magic. And so I don't care when it is. I just want to be here.
Whether things are growing or dying, it does not matter.
It doesn't matter. It's nature. So there's always an element of life, even when everything looks dead. If you think about it, the grass is like still green, so the grass is not dead. And whatever appears dead is just dormant. It's just preparing for the next cycle. So I like that energy too. There's something calm and really quiet about the winter energy too.
You know. Yeah, definitely Definitely finding a new appreciation for that winter energy. We were talking earlier in yoga. Had a yoga session before coming over here. Talking a little bit about that winter energy. Cycle of death, or the phase of death, right? But we don't talk about death. Let's not talk about death. There's so much negative stuff around death, but you can't have life without death. It's it's the other side of the coin. You know what I mean? Same coin. But things dying. Things dying, shedding the leaves. You're going inward as well. This is your time of quiet, entering a zone, a particular space of mental, physical, emotional hibernation. But within that hibernation, that slowed down energy of winter is the perfect time for introspection, reflection. Because the sun's coming around. Is it the Earth? Sorry, it's coming around in full rotation around the sun. So you're getting yourself prepared for that. I went to Solstice, coming up a new year. You're examining your previous 12 months, right? Looking at how you've been living, your actions, what it is you manifested, How is the life that you're creating for yourself? You're examining those things, reflecting on that. And then you're setting your intentions, setting your plans for the new season to come, When we spring forward, right? We spring forward and everything returns to life, Because you can't constantly be just in a state of creation, living, moving, like you can't. That's a burnout. But in society, that's what we do. That's how you're.
In society, that sort of like constant energy of like doing, running around is actually regarded as a quality. Oh, it's like, wow, you truly are dedicated to whatever you do. Wow. And burnout, never mind, it can be a side effect. But watch out for burnout. But really, I think the whole society is actually promoting burnout. The way we live, like those like long hours and trying to fit everything in. Clearly, there's not enough time in a day to do that. So I think we're setting ourselves for burnout. We're creating our own burnouts because we're trying to do too much and we can't. But it really annoys me to observe that we're not really looking out for, society isn't always looking out for our own well-being. It's about, this thing of of forever keep going and highly valuing work for someone else and making that normal. Of course, it's the best recipe for burnout. So, no, being here and taking moments to just slow down and unplug from that cycle, from that crazy cycle, I find it necessary. It's like nature just does its thing.
Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. That was a Mos Def song about slowing down. Have you ever just been outside and watching the commuters and see the people rushing off to work? It's like, it's like you have no problem killing yourself trying to get there. It's like rushing. Like this this awkward walk that's like really, really fast, but it kind of looks like it could be a jog, but it's still a walk. But I don't know. And you rush. And especially over here, they're rushing around, when there's another bus or train that comes like in a matter of minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And that's a program, Okay, we already established that we spend the majority of our day, working in a program of rules and requirements, keeping up a particular status quo, whatever it is. How's it going? I just lost it. Huh.
Well, we were talking about like the rush of society, us being okay, spending the majority of our time at work. I guess like the whole system of control around what
Okay.
human beings do with their time.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a program that you're already in, because we already spend majority of our time at work. So you're like forever in this state of rush, instead of like, this urgency to get from point A to point B. It's always like you're always living right there. So even when you're not working, when it's your day off, your movements are still the same. You're rushing from this shop to the next shop, like you got to get there. Like you're already used to walking at that pace.
It's like whatever you don't have time to do because of work, you have to cram it in
But
on your day off.
yeah, you do have to cram these things in, but people walk at that pace already. They're used to walking at that pace. Like, why are you walking at that pace? Are you in a hurry to get there? Do you know what I mean? Is there someone waiting on you? Is a shop going to close? Do you have something else to do? No. Okay, let's slow down a little bit. Okay, so you don't have to walk at that speed. Like, something like just even walking and just being observant of your surroundings and just taking in, being present in that moment. There's many people that don't like the seated meditation, but you could do a walking meditation. You could walk mindfully. So on your days off and stuff like that, when you don't have to be in a rush to get here and there, like take your time, take a more scenic route. You know, feel your steps. Touch the earth, touch the ground. Take in your surroundings. Look at nature, stop and just pause. Feel the plants. See what they look like, smell them. Take in the designs, different imprints and stuff like that. All of these things are natural stress relievers. A lot of us walking around with high blood pressure and different things because of the different jobs that we live. So on your days off, really take that time off. Plan something to go somewhere, or to just sit and do nothing and read a book. It's like people always need to be told what to do. It's like when you're going to work, it's like, okay, that's what I'm going. I'm going to work. I'm a teacher, or I'm doing this. That's what I have to do. But when you're given just time to yourself, like, I don't know what to do. Now they're stressed out because they don't know what to do. That you're like, wow, that's wild. You're stressed out because you don't know what to do. Like, I got to call someone. I got to be here. It's, yo, we're screwed up, huh? In so many different ways. Come on. So what has the allotment done for me? It's done so much. This is my yoga off the mat, right? This is me living a more optimal life. This is me focused on my well-being. This is my organic food. This is all of that. It's actually truly organic when you're growing it for self, you know. I don't care if you're using chemical things on it. When you're putting your hands in your own ground and you're growing your own stuff, that's organic to me, you know what I mean? So yeah, my peace is my safe haven, you know, home. It's a chill zone, you know. It's yeah, it's my chill zone. It's my place of exploration, you know, of enjoyment, of happiness,
Yeah.
of fun, you know what I mean?
Of just like a quiet peace as well. I don't know, for me it's a lot of that, just like that state of being and just being happy to just be. In here I feel like it's always possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, just look at the skies. Let me show you this. You just see the birds moving around in the sky. You just hear them. So I'm bringing you right back in to the greenhouse. Can I get it? Let me see. I guess not. I'll just keep you out. So yeah. So the allotment is way more to it than meets the eye. You know. This is it's a passion and an interest. It's a love.
It's a home too.
It's a home. Yeah. So whether you have an allotment or you just have you don't have any space and just growing something, just have one little pot. You just have a windowsill. Just plant a seed. Just look after it, water it, watch it grow. There's tons of things that you could grow from just a windowsill. You know, tons of herbs and stuff like that that you use on a regular. You know. Yeah. This might not be for you, but if you're a lover of food, nature, science, construction. For me, it's construction as well. It's like,
it's creating. That is the energy, creating. So seeing what you have, looking at what it is that you want to do, and let me go ahead and manifest this from the realm of thought and put my hands on it, put my hands to work, hands into the soil, hands building, hands creating. You know. And doing it out within nature. It's a harmonious balance that is needed, and that's missing in society. Yeah. Tell me your thoughts. What has allotment done for you? What has
Growing your own food done for you?
you got any other things? Any things you want us to cover?